What's going on, everybody? My name is Jorna, that's Joarna, and I'm here today bringing you a review slash examination of Tom Clancy's The Division. This just came out today. Today is March 8th. It's been currently about 10 o'clock local time. I've had this game for a few hours now. I've only been able to really get through the tutorial level because I spent a lot of time A, dicking around, and two, probably the biggest time waster was battling the always online connection portion of the game. So anyone that's not familiar with this game, it is a always you basically you always need to be connected to the internet. There's no two ways about it. You can't. There's like if you want to play solo, that's fine, but you still got to be connected to the internet. The reason being is that the game almost acts like I want to call it like a Diablo or a Borderlands, where there's various loot drops that you can get, and each drop will have varying stats. Now, of the drops you get, there's like various armor upgrades, there's various weapon upgrades, etc., etc. Right now, I'm at Camp Hudson. I'll give you the quick 30-second backstory of this. There was a biological terrorist attack, and pretty much all of New York has just fallen into chaos. So basically, you were part of what is known as the Division. You're basically an elite group of soldiers that operate just to get her done, get the job done. The thing that kills me is that yes, I'm part of an elite group of soldiers, but yet there's fucking people running around everywhere. So apparently, I'm not sure how elite our group really is, but that's kind of nitpicking. So I've just completed through what was essentially the tutorial levels. Basically, they give you, basic controls, firing commands, how to run missions, etc., etc. Like I said, I'm at Camp Hudson right now. So there's a lot of good, but there's also a lot of bad associated with this game too. I'll say that there's probably more good than bad. So right now, this is a gear vendor. You can see, you can get various masks, armor, upgrades, blah, blah, blah. I mean, this is all stuff that you'd see in a dungeon crawler slash RPG. They got various different attributes associated with each gear. As you play the game more and more, you gain levels, which will give you access to bigger and better gear, which will help you do more damage and survive longer and harder fights. Okay, standard stuff. Again, this is absolutely nothing new to anyone that's ever played any type of RPGs or any type of online game. One of the big things that I'm actually noticing this just as I'm sitting here talking is if I go over here and look at the structure of some of the buildings, they may be a little difficult to see, but like it doesn't look like the texture is properly loaded on some of those buildings off in the distance. Unfortunately, I don't believe I have a zoom option. But yeah, those buildings look like either the textures are really bad or they just didn't load. Which brings me to one of my first negative points about this game is that there is definitely some graphical issues that I think that could be fixed with a patch, but obviously it's day one. It's probably one of the smaller concerns that they got going on. But yeah, you'll definitely, as you play the game, you'll see that depending on what's going on, if there's a lot of explosions, there's some frame rate slowdown. Right now, I'm recording at 30 FPS. But the game, it looks like, is playing at 60 FPS. My TV operates at 120 hertz or 120 frames per second if necessary. But it looks like, I'm just eyeballing it. I can't be 100% sure because I have to record at 30 FPS. Otherwise, for some reason, my audio-video sync gets totally messed up. But it looks like the game is running at 60 FPS, which is good. Modern games should run at 60 FPS. But unfortunately, there are, like I said, graphical errors. You're going to get some frame rate drops. You're definitely going to get texture pop-ins. There's all kinds of. There's a couple of other smaller graphical issues that I noticed. Some artifacting here and there. It's not the end of the world. Oh, I didn't know I could roll. Look at that. Whee! I can do a tumble. It's not the end of the world, but I mean, it's definitely something that the purists will notice and be like, oh, "Come on, man! I just spent $60 on this, and you can't even fix it. You can't even keep the frame rates up." But again, not the end of the world to me. But there will be some people out there that will definitely object to it. What the hell are those things? Pat. Oh, rats. That's a good waste of ammo. So yes, back to the bad. So yes, we talked about graphics. There's going to be some graphical flaws. Another big quote-unquote flaw that that I kind of hinted on earlier is the always online connection. Oh my god, I must have spent close to an hour trying to get this thing up and running, because in order to play the game you need to have, I think it's called like a Uplay account, which is basically Ubisoft's version of a online basically an online login system. So you put in your name and your email. So I didn't have an Ubisoft account. I've never played I played Assassin's Creed, but not to the point where I cared enough to continue playing it. Oh, we got a civilian in need here. Oh, she wants a med kit. Fine, she can have a med kit. Cool. So yes, I just reached level 4. Shocker. Yeah, so you need to have a Uplay account, or whatever the hell it's called, in order to play the game. So I spent maybe, like I was saying, the better part of an hour trying to get my Uplay account working, because it'll ask you for like an email address, it'll ask you for your date of birth to make sure you're like at least 18 or older. But the problem is that the servers are so goddamn busy right now. Every time you try to create an account, it's like, oh, this cannot be accessed at the time. Please try again later. Listen, here's the thing about always online games. If you want the game to always be online, that's fine. I'm not super against that, but you need to make sure you have the server capacity to handle all of this, basically all of the problems that could potentially occur. I mean, the fact that this is a day 1 release, and this is not like 2004 or 2006 or something. Oh shit, these are bad guys. Fuck you. I gotta find cover. Let's kill those. Let's see. Headshot. He was holding a grenade. Yeah, but this is not like a 2004 release where servers will get tested at the time of the release. We're in 2016 right now. These guys should anticipate to have a large reception to their game. There was what was it? There was a closed beta for this for, I think it was going for like a month or two, I want to say. I know it was at least a month, maybe longer. Now, granted, that's not the longest closed beta, but still, I mean, you should have time to test things amply. So I spent about an hour trying to just get into just to log into my quote-unquote Uplay account. Oh, I just totally missed what was going on. So it took me an hour to log in, and at that point, I was like, I finally got in. I'm like, all right, cool. I got into the game, and then something horrible else happened. So you get in the game, and there's some basic tutorials like press this button to shoot, press this button to run, press this button to duck and cover, etc. Eventually, there comes a point where you basically have to go to what's known as a safe house, which is where, oh god, more guys. Fuck you. I gotta take him out. Got nothing on me. Oh, this guy dropped a green item, which is usually, again, it's a level of rarity. Motorcycle pads, I will take them. So you get to a point where you're in the safe house, and you're trying to basically progress the story. It's just story fluff is all. It's like, oh, go talk to Commander so-and-so, and they'll get you started on, your mission, etc., etc. And then there comes a point where they say, all right, well, in order to continue progressing with your mission, go to this computer and verify your identity. Okay, I can do that. The problem is, well, we gotta help out my boys. So they basically say go and to this computer and help and log in to verify your identity. But the problem is that there's 200 people trying to log in all at the same time. And the problem is that there's only one computer, and it seems like only one person can log in at any given time. It didn't seem like multiple people could use the computer at once, regardless of it being, you know, an item that's on the client side. But the problem is that it seems to activate on the server side. So unfortunately, in my game, I had a fucking troll who was at the computer and wouldn't move the fuck out of the way after he was done. Jesus, more of them. So yeah, unfortunately, I had to wait for like 45 minutes of me logging in and out to see if this asshole was still in the way. And of course he was. And eventually he moved, and eventually I was able to get in and get the game moving. But still, I mean, come on, Ubisoft. You telling me that you can't make that purely client side? It has to go to the server side? Now, again, I'm not a rep for Ubisoft, so I don't know if it goes to the server side, but it sure as hell seemed like it. Being an online game, that usually means that pretty much everything you do that progresses the game forward needs to hit the server side. So there was that, which kind of fucking sucked. So after about essentially 2 hours of dealing with internet-based problems, you're welcome. Oh, I have no ammo left in my main weapon, which kind of sucks. So yes, so we finally got playing, and like I said, the gameplay is good. It's fun so far. I mean, you've been seeing me running around and blasting people in the face, and you fucking breaking the law. But the game, again, it seems to have a small lack of polish to it, which is not the end of the world, being that, you know, it's a day one release. There was a patch of about 2 gigs that I had to download, which was not the end of the world. As for the gameplay itself, there is a lot of cutscenes, a lot of voiceovers, a lot of narrative. All of it seems very well done so far that I've seen. What's up here? This keeps glowing. I want to see what's up here. Let's climb. Oh, there's nothing up here. I don't know what the point was. That ladder was definitely glowing. It's like, interact with me. And you'll take fall damage. Great. Another thing I noticed is that the game, I was kind of hoping that with being a Tom Clancy game, I know that at least in recent years, Tom Clancy games have taken the route of the regenerative health system. I've never been a big fan of that. Now, granted that the last time that I played a Tom Clancy game was probably, it was probably one of the original Rainbow Six games, or maybe Rainbow Six 2 or something. But those didn't have like a regenerative health system. It was, if you took damage, you took damage until you had a medic come by and patch you up. Again, it's just yeah, blah 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 blah. It's not a big deal breaker. It's just something personal that I enjoy. But you know, I'm not gonna hold the game against that, or I'm not gonna hold that against the game, I should say. As for the gameplay itself, like I said, it's a lot of fun. The AI is very soft. They will try to flank you. Like, enemies will try to flank you if you're in cover. So let me see if I can get an example of it. But the problem is that they'll be like, oh crap, I see you over there. But when they try to flank you, they'll just run out, like, without any type of suppressing cover or suppressing fire. Like this guy right here, he's like, oh, you know, this guy's just standing out in the open, looking at me. I could just, you know, pap, 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 pap. He'll do that right now. Just pap, pap, pap. And he'll just, you know, stand there and take it. Which I'm not a fan of. And like I said, they will try to flank me. Like, you can see that there's like 3 or 4 guys. And, like, eventually they will try to flank me. But, like, they won't lay down suppressing fire. They'll just run out in the open. Oh, that's a boss over there. That guy Pool. Yeah, so the AI, here's the perfect example. This guy's, I'm gonna flank you, and I'm gonna just run out in the middle. Not your smartest move. But such is life. As for the multiplayer aspect of it, I've been told that you can do like team versus team multiplayer. I've only done co-op so far. There's a couple of missions where they're like, oh, you need to team up with one or two. Wow, something just bashed me square in the face. Oh, he threw out a grenade. The co-op is, you know, it's good. It's entertaining. You know, again, it also depends on, you know, who you're paired with. If you're paired with an asshole, then you're gonna have a shitty time. This guy is loaded. He's got a lot of health. I'm about to run out of ammo for this. So I'm gonna switch to my sidearm. Now the cool thing about this is that the sidearm you have unlimited ammo. But obviously it's just a shitty ass pistol. That's all it is. But you get various perks associated with it. So the one thing that I got is that one of my perks is the riot shield, which makes me damage resistant, and I can stand out here and take pot shots. But I can only use my sidearm, which is perfect for when I'm out of ammo for my primary weapon. Now again, this is not. Eventually, this shield, as you can see, is starting to break, which is not good. There's someone in my spot. But you know, you get different talents and different perks. Yep, see it broken. Whoa. You'll get different talents and different perks as you level up, and you know you'll equip additional item slots. So you know maybe now you can carry 2 primary weapons instead of 1 primary weapon. If I had a chance to, let's see. Oh, it's the wrong wall. I'm trying to establish a base of operations right now, but there's all these guys in my way. And the one thing I did notice is that the game is not hitbox sensitive. Like, yes, you know, if you shoot someone in the chest, it does more damage than them shoot them in the leg. But if you shoot them in the head, they're not going to die instantly, as you would think they would. Stand up. There's still a guy up left up here. Now supposedly as you get further into the game, you know, there's various stuff you can unlock, like drones and stuff that'll go out and attack, and automated machine guns, but obviously that's at the higher levels, and since you're low, you know, there's not much that you can get for the moment. Obviously, all these times I stop and pick something up, see, I'm right here looking at this guy, and he's like not even paying attention to me. I'm gonna shoot him in the head, and like, he doesn't even look at me. And like, it didn't even one-shot him. Shoot him in the head? No. This guy's still not looking at me. How many times do I have to shoot you in the head, buddy? There you go.
Situation outside is now under control.
So as you can see, it drops guard knee pads, which I can take and put in my inventory, which I can then, you know, now I can go and take a look at my inventory and I can equip them.
Now let's rebuild our base.
So obviously all you're looking for is just what's the better item that you have available. So obviously these knee pads give me 7 armor, where these only give me 2, so by default wearing the 7 was more important. Or whatever it is, that was the mask, I think. So yes, these are knee pads. Oh, look at all these knee pads. So obviously these cost, I have to wait till level 5, but they have a bunch of various attributes associated with them. So these I can, let's see. These I can wear because they have increased, they increased my total health, as well as my armor, holster, gloves, backpack, just various items as you go through the game. And obviously your character will change depending on what they look like. My biggest gripe that I have about this so far is that, again, the online, always online aspect of it really blows. I really wish that they could make that more of an option. I don't know why they couldn't make it an option, because obviously there's a single player campaign. Or I guess that maybe the better term would be a kind of a Bloodborne method, where you play single player, and if you need help or if you want help, then you can turn on multiplayer and, you know, try to find someone to pair up with. apart from that, you know, the game itself, like I've been saying, you know, the game itself seems fun so far. I have a feeling I am still in the very beginning stages of the game. I'm anticipating this to, hopefully I can get at least 20 to 30 hours out of this. No guarantees. But I mean, this is not like some rinky-dink independent studio. This is Ubisoft doing a AAA title. You should be able to at least get 30 hours out of this, especially when we dropping $60 on it. So let's see, let's just go ahead and wrap things up real quick. I'm going to go, since we've cleared this out, I'm going to enter my base of operations, which is basically my safe house. Yeah, so here's a safe zone. Is basically, yeah, you can't kill or be killed. And inside here, you know, you'll have your, basically your, whoever gives you your missions up. Here's a cutscene.
We need our base up and running, and we need to show the people of New York they're getting their city back. Our base of operations has potential, but right now it's a piece of shit and we've got no one to staff it. To get this place where it needs to be, we need people who know what they're doing.
God knows that's not me.
Like doctors. There's a virologist running a field hospital over at Madison Square Garden, but the whole area's gone to shit. With her, we can get our medical facilities online. Without her... The JTF commander, Benitez, is out in the field and he's gone offline. Bring him back. We need him to set up a functional security wing, and it'll do a hell of a lot for morale. We've also got to restore basic services. We need power and the intel the grid can give us. They had a guy working on that, but it sounds like he ran into trouble patching us in.
Yeah, so basically you go out, you recruit these people to come back to your base, and they help improve your base. In here you can get, you know, various item upgrades. You have access to your storage. There's a bunch of different vendors. Obviously, as you go out and recruit more people, your upgrades will get better and better. The story seems a little bit thin. Like, they tell you, I mean, like, you see the opening where the guy is fiddling with, like, biological stuff, and he's putting it on money, and then, Black Friday, everybody's gonna be sick. But the thing I don't understand, I mean, the story seems very thin. Like, there's a lot of missing in between. You just know that there was a catastrophic event, and that's about it. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of character development. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of story development. It's just like, here you go, you're in it now, so get at it. But I'm gonna give this. This is gonna be part of my regular live stream rotation. I'm gonna be playing this over the next couple of days. For anyone that's unaware, I do live streaming just about every night from 8 p.m. Pacific time to about 10 p.m. Pacific time, depending on what's going on. And like I said, this is going to be part of my new rotation. I would like to see how this pans out. I'm hoping that from what I've seen that, you know, it turns out to be a really good game. I hate games that, you know, I play through once and I'm like, well, fuck, that was not gratifying, and then I end up selling it back to GameStop or giving it to somebody. But we'll see what happens, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this review. Give it a like or a comment. You know, I'm obviously not the world's best wordsmith when it comes to, you know, reviews and whatnot. But I try to be honest and unopinionated, or at least opinionated where it needs to be, but unbiased, and, you know, I just give the facts, and, you know, what I see wrong is, you know, needs to be called out. But I'll also call out the things that I really like about the game too. So that's me. I'm Jorna. My shitty ass neck tattoo and my hipster glasses. So like I said, I'll see you guys all in the live stream, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. I do video uploads every day, usually around noontime Pacific. So I will see you all in the next video.